Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist. Born male, became female. Oh, you get the drill. Anyway, my guest is animal rights and human rights activist Ms. Raven Benitez, who's going to tell us about animal rights, human rights, and rights to the left and right. You get the picture. Anyway, my guest, activist Ms. Raven Benitez. Hello, Raven.
Hi, Diana, and thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, we don't have many straight people on the show. She's straight, so there you go. So that's interesting. But
yes,
that alone is unusual for this show, yes. So anyway, so now, animals have souls, I think.
Yes, they do. They do. They're very smart. If you really know an animal, you can communicate with them. They communicate with you. You can. Well, it's like we're dealing with another human being.
Right. Yeah.
They're very good. They're very good listeners. They're loyal. They don't fight back unless they need to. I love animals. There's nothing I can really say. Animals are fabulous. Mm-hmm. I got 3 of my own, 2 cats and 1 dog. My first cat is Shadow. My second cat is Luna, and my dog is Moon. Shadow should have been human. I think he was a human before he became a cat.
Well, the Buddhists would say that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, the Buddhists. Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
Yeah.
And he's very smart. He loves water. I used to walk him on a leash. People were calling me crazy for walking a cat on a leash.
I think that's the best idea. Walk.
But I figured, why not? If you can do it with a dog, why not a cat?
Yeah.
He always wanted to be outside.
Raven walks her cat on a leash. And he, goes out there and you don't have to mess with the kitty litter and all that.
No, which is a good thing because he usually uses, soil, plants. Cats love plants. If you have plants and they could use it, they're going to use it. But I tell you, I never had a problem walking him in the street. He's smart, very intelligent. He's big now. I think he's getting lazy or too old.
How old is he?
7.
Is that old for a cat?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not so much for a cat. I think it's more for a dog, but yeah, it is. I think he's losing his eyesight because he just crashed right into the wall the other day.
Okay.
Poor thing. That's what I said. And my other one, she's very feisty. She fights a lot.
That's
the dog
Luna.
Is kind of, Luna is because of a cat I used to have that passed away.
I remember, yeah.
Who was beautiful, gorgeous.
She was beautiful.
Yeah, she passed away, so I named this one Luna because she looks like Luna, the first one. And Luna was taken care of her before she passed away. That was her daughter.
Yeah, that's good.
So I named her Luna, so I figured why not. And then my dog Moon, my friend Lucia told me to name him Moon. At first I found it strange, the name.
Lunai Moon,
Yeah, that's what she told me too. I was cool with it. I like it. People find it strange. Why calling your dog Moon? Why calling your dog? Because he jumped over it. That's why.
Well, that's cool. So, now, because you live in New York, you can't have more animals than you already have because there just isn't enough space. New York apartments tend to be small. Mm-hmm. So, did you ever think of getting fish or birds? They don't take up much room.
I had turtles at one time. I had birds, but they make a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, they die.
I know, they die right away.
They die, yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Everybody says, you fed them too much. Because people tend to shake that little thing.
Yeah, I put a lot of food, but no, they die. I think the ones I live more, because I used to have, years ago, piranhas.
Oh,
I only have
wow.
one. Those, yes, those definitely. But fish tend to die too fast.
Oh.
I'm not too good with the fish. I'm better off with the 4-legged animals than I am with the...
We've all bought a fish when we were kids.
Even named it at once.
The fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all named fish.
Yeah, mine was Henry.
Mine was Goldie.
Yeah, Henry went down the toilet though.
So did Goldie.
Ain't that sad? That's not...
Well, whatever.
Mine's healthy though.
As fish go,
Yeah, well, at least the cat didn't get sick.
I'll have a tuna salad on rye. No.
But yeah. And it's beautiful. I love it. I don't like to hear when animals are being abused or mistreated or beaten, burned, starved to death. I hate to hear things like that. If it was up to me, I'd take every animal on this planet with me.
Yeah. Well, now, I think a lot of those people who, have 35 dogs or cats, they mean well. They want to give them a home, but then like the cats connect with the cats and there are more cats, or the dogs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just happens. I don't
And
think.
they multiply.
Right, and I think the people who do that have a good heart. They just, it just happens. That all these dogs and cats happen.
Woo, I think that's gonna be me. I'm already with 3. I'm
Well,
like, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, and they have a great home, so that's great.
Yeah, I love my baby. Those are my babies. Those are my children. Not exactly gave birth to them, but those are my children.
So that's good. That's and you can have a dog and cats together. They don't fight. They don't. I mean, any more than a bunch of cats or a bunch of dogs.
You will have to. It all depends on the. Let's say my cat took a while to get used to Moon, and
The
he's
dog.
starting. Yes, the dog. He's starting to he's starting to be friendly, but it all depends really, because cats and dogs do not get along. It's in their nature not to get along. But you could have dogs and cats in your household and they all get along just fine.
If they grow up together, I think.
Yeah. And if you get if you have a dog and you just happen to have the dog, let's say it's 2 and you got a kitten, the dog sometimes will protect that kitten like if it was his or her
That's
child.
sweet. That's sweet.
So it's not really that. I mean, it's not in all stories that cats and dogs will kill each other underneath the same roof.
Oh, that's good.
They do get along. They will get along.
Well, now you give your cats baths. You like to put them in the shower.
Of course. When Shadow was a newborn kitten, I just out the blue decided to bathe him because he was looking a mess. So I was taking a shower one day and he just went in the bathroom. I sprinkled him with water. He didn't fight. So I figured that's when I decided to put him in the bathtub. When I put him in the bathtub, it turned out that he likes water.
That's great. So some cats like water.
Yeah, not all. Some do, but not all. And I cut his hair. I do their nails, their teeth, all that.
You brush their teeth?
Of course.
Oh.
You
That must
have
be
to,
tough.
Yeah.
Don't they bite at the toothbrush?
Yeah.
Or with their little paws go.
They'll fight. He fights, but I got him trained to give him a snack if he behaves.
Oh, and he sees the snack, so he knows.
And he'll stay there with a stupid smile on his face like I'm brushing teeth.
Oh, okay.
But
Whatever.
They have snacks that also brush their teeth.
Oh, right, yeah, those snacks that they eat and it cleans
yeah,
it.
I use that with Moon.
Oh, that's good, because Moon is a dog and won't take it.
No, he won't. But they also have their own beds. Shadow the cat has his bed. Luna the cat got hers, and Moon got his.
And they don't climb up in bed with you?
Yeah, when they want to.
Yeah, sure.
Shadow does. Or if he knows I'm not feeling well, he'll jump on the bed. Luna is getting the cat. My other cat, Luna, is a little more tight on that. More. I can't even pronounce.
Sort of
that.
reserved, sort of not interested.
Not interested too much. Yeah, not interested. Period. But.
Well, that's what a lot of people don't like about cats. Dogs love you and they jump all over you and they're very sweet. But a lot of cats, like, they'll basically say, I don't care, leave me alone. And they just
that would be Luna.
walk around. And
That would be Luna with her little butt in the air, like, mind your business, leave me alone. Don't talk to me.
That's what most cats are like, aren't they?
Yes, but it's still a beautiful thing. I mean, you're coming home to an animal that misses you. Same thing with the dog.
Yeah, but cats, they miss you and they say hi. They're not like, oh, I love you, I love you.
No, yeah, no.
You know?
No, well, he doesn't bark, but he does hug you. Shadow would, because I pick him up like if he was a baby. He'll put paws here and he'll just put his head right
No, but when you're out of the house,
He's
don't
big.
they knock stuff down or scratch at stuff?
Oh, no, I trained them not to, no.
How do you train them not to?
No, with Shadow, I started putting him in like a little cage.
Uh-huh.
And keeping him in there. And then when I take him out and I notice he was doing something, I would put him there and let him know, you don't do that, you don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept doing that and doing that till he won't.
Oh, that's good.
I'm having problems with Luna though. She's a terror.
But she's like that all across the board. She's just, if you tell her to do this, she'll do that
She'll
just
do the
because she's
opposite.
that
Just
person.
because she's who she is.
That thing. But,
She's a pussy.
well, gives new meaning to the term stroke my pussy. But anyway, so, if people, do you go to pounds to get your animals? Like, are they rescue animals?
Well, Luna was a rescue, and so was a dog, not Shadow.
How'd you get Shadow?
Shadow was for my daughter.
She gave it to you?
And no, somebody gave Shadow to me as a gift for my daughter.
Oh.
My 17-year-old.
Shanice.
And yes. Good memory, very
Yes,
good memory.
yes, yes.
For Shanice, who's 17 now, Shadow is hers, but she wasn't taking care of him. It's like she outgrew the cat.
Right, sure. Young
So
people
now,
do, yeah.
Yes, so now I got stuck with, so now he's mine. He's
Well,
my
that's-
son.
That's cute. So, where do you recommend that people go to rescue facilities? Because you don't really want to go to a puppy mill or a cat mill, because I mean it's like a factory where they make animals, you know.
No, I would prefer the shelters is a good place to go to adopt, because you could get them for free and they already have their shots. Some shelters do give you a card where you don't have to pay
That's
but
great.
so much for the animal to be taken care of. Where I take them, I know the person there, so he works with me as far as the bill is concerned for my animals. Their eyes, their ears, their shots, fleas, all of that is included. I would prefer.
We should treat the
shelter.
homeless people that well. We don't.
And we don't. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That is a shame, and it's a shame because with animals, I don't know if you noticed, you see homeless people with their dogs
I know.
or their cats, and it's really bad.
It's
really
heartbreaking,
sad.
yeah.
Yes. I can't. I don't like it. I really don't like it. But I feel that for them to be out there with their animal, that's what you call an animal lover, right?
Yeah. And whoever thought that America would come to what it's come to. People living in the streets, no home, their animals with them. I mean, this
Nowhere
is...
to go.
Can you imagine? And I mean, in the good weather it's bad, but in the cold weather,
In the winter's worse.
and here in New York it gets very cold. So
They get harassed when they're out there with their animals.
yeah, the police
sometimes.
harass
Yes.
them. So where are they supposed to go? And it's not illegal to be homeless, and it's not illegal to be in the street. What's illegal is quote unquote loitering. But where are they going to go? They have no place to go. You know?
No, people are saying that the shelters are overcrowded, which they are. But when you have an animal, you're not allowed in the shelter with an animal.
Really?
They won't let you go in there with an animal. You can pay for a shelter for your animal until you find a place, but they won't let you go in there with
Well,
an
if you can pay for a shelter for your animal, then you wouldn't need to go
Then
to
you
a
would-
shelter. There's no logic in
but
that.
No, there ain't. But you do have people that live in the street, but have an animal in the shelter until they could get their act together.
Isn't that nice? They pay for the animal to
And-
have a home, even if they don't.
But it's bad because the animal, they get depressed when you're not with them. If you have an animal for more than 2-3 years, the animal's already used to you.
Sure.
For you to place an animal in a shelter and expect them to be okay, which you don't really know if they are going to be okay, they get depressed because you're not there. They're so
Sure.
used to being your mom to them or dad.
Right.
So to lose you to be in a shelter, not knowing where you at or about your whereabouts, they can die. They get depressed and die.
Right.
I can't leave my animals in a shelter. If I was to be homeless, I'd probably do what these people do. I'd rather deal with my animal in the street than have to
Yeah.
put them somewhere where I don't know if they're gonna be okay.
But where would both of you sleep, you know?
Well, probably outside somewhere in a box, I guess.
I knew this woman who was a former nightclub singer. She was transgender. She used to live in the nooks and crannies of the World Trade Center before September 11th. She was a trans activist, and we used to help her as much as we could. And she used to live, as I've said, in the nooks and crannies of the World Trade Center. Well, September 11th happened in 2001. We haven't heard from her since. This is terrible.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So, I mean, we here in New York, and I'm sure wherever you're watching this, we have a terrible homeless problem. Now we're segueing into human rights. We have a terrible homelessness problem. People live in the shadows of obscenely expensive buildings. It's really awful. It's really terrible. I mean, like, 48-floor high-rises that cost like $5 million for a broom closet in there, and people outside are like living and dying in the streets. That's not right, and as far as I know, that's not America. What happened here, you know?
A lot of things change. You got homeless. People do have a choice to be in a shelter if they choose.
Now, if they have animals,
But
because they can't
with
go
the
with their
animals, they can't. But without an animal, they still won't go because they get hurt. They
Right.
get beaten, they get abused.
Sure.
So they would rather take chances in the streets than to be in a shelter.
Yeah.
And that was bad about that. They go hungry, no place to take a bath. But they do have places where homeless people could go take baths, where they can go eat, where you can go. They got churches that do that. They have places. I don't exactly know the name, but they can go there. They can get emails there, pick up their mail there, take showers there. They supply you with soap and toothpaste. It's not really it's not as bad as people make it seem to be.
Right.
It's their choice, and a lot of them do not want to do that.
To do what?
Go get soap, pick up toothpaste.
Why would they not want
mail.
that?
I don't understand why. I don't.
Do you think that living in the streets makes people so suspicious and wary that they don't trust anyone, even the people trying to help them?
That's a possibility, yes. I think you're right. I think you're right. Because yeah, that's a possibility. Because you have somewhere to pick up your mail. They supply you with things that you can use to bathe. And you can take a shower while you're there. Brush your hair. They even give free haircuts to the homeless.
That's great.
But a lot of them...
Yeah, but then they go out and they get... There's a horrible story about a man who had terrible lice in his dreadlocks.
Oh, wow.
And he poured a bottle of ethyl alcohol that he bought at a drugstore all over his dreadlocks. And then he lit a cigarette and he went up like a torch.
Ooh.
Now, why are people living this way in such a rich country? Why can we not help? And I mean, all the abandoned buildings in New York, all the empty buildings, why can't, and if they dare to squat in a building, they're arrested. I used to help trans women who lived in a squat in, I thought I'd become a social worker. I didn't want it though, because it was too, like I couldn't take it, because I had to see things I didn't want to see, like what you just said. Yeah. Anyway, so there was this building in the East Village 20 years ago, and I used to go there, and there were a lot of trans people who lived there. Cops were always trying to throw them out. And I'm in politics, Democratic politics, and I used to say, why are you doing this? I mean, what's going to happen to this building? Why can't they stay here? Oh, it's against the law. Well, change the law, you know?
We used to run from them. I was homeless at one time, sleeping in the streets.
Get out of here, really?
Yes. In the parks, on rooftops, in cars. And it used to be like a group of us, and we used to go to abandoned buildings. Abandoned buildings, who's using them? No, the city wasn't doing anything with the building. But once they find out that there were people in there, it was a whole big thing. It's like we blew up the Twin Towers way before they even got blown up.
Can you believe this?
It was ridiculous. The cops used to chase us out. We used to have to jump out of windows because sometimes they would block the entrance of the building. We would have to jump out of windows just to run from the cops so they don't take us in.
On Election Day 2002, the then Speaker of the City Council, Gifford Miller, was very nice. I asked him, can we have a building as a shelter for trans people? He laughed, but not in a nasty way. I've told you the story many a time. He said, Diana, there are so many groups waiting for whatever empty buildings we have. I said, you know, wherever it is in New York, we'll refinish it, we'll fix it up. You know, he couldn't give us one because so many groups were waiting. Meanwhile, there are all these abandoned buildings in New York. When you were homeless and you were in an abandoned building. Now, I know from the trans women that they get a very hard time from people. Also, not only because they're homeless, but because they're trans. Mm-hmm. And often have to be sex workers, and often have to be sex workers in those abandoned buildings. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, is there any solution to this?
No. Well, yes, there is. In order for me to get out of being homelessness, I got a job doing any little thing I can, McDonald's, supermarkets, whatever I can, just to pay off a little 3/4 room for the meantime, till I can get on my feet and be able to get something much bigger and much better.
Yeah.
But it's hard because when you're homeless and people already know that they've seen you out there and they know that you're homeless, a lot of people won't hire you.
Why not? That makes no sense.
They don't want they don't want their company to look bad because they're hiring homeless people.
Homeless people are the ones who need the jobs most.
Yeah, exactly my point. But we look bad. We make them look bad.
It's awful. You're very
bad.
attractive. Did you ever think of being a sex worker?
No, but I had a friend who was doing it on the phone.
Right.
I wasn't too good at that either. I wasn't good at it. I don't know. I found it kind of odd. But I did other stuff to maintain it.
Like, couldn't some nice man give you a place to sleep?
If a nice man was to give you a place to sleep at that time, you had to give something back for him being so nice.
Right, sure.
So no. But I did other things besides working stores and supermarkets to make money. It wasn't. I sold drugs. I wasn't doing sex. I was selling drugs.
Right.
And that's how I made my money. Got in trouble behind them because, of course, you're homeless. You don't. It's like you don't really got nothing to lose.
Right, sure.
So it was a stupid move. Actually, a very stupid move, but sold drugs to survive.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to help a homeless person. They'll help you, but then they'll charge you. How can you pay for something you don't have?
Right,
So it's basically I did what I had to do to survive.
right.
I saw a lot of women get beat, homeless women get beat,
Why?
selling themselves so they can eat.
And they got beat up by guys?
Because they wouldn't have enough or they didn't do something right. So they will beat the women and then send them on their way. And sometimes they will even come back. You have the woman that will go back to the same person that beat them.
Because she has nowhere else to go.
Exactly. And nobody else is trying to feed her. So the woman will go back to the abuser just so they can eat and have a place to sleep. That's it. It's bad. It's
God bless America.
Hey, God bless America is right.
That's terrible. That's awful. How much time do we have?
4:58.
How many minutes left?
4:58.
Okay. So, if people out there are homeless and need help, we've already given wonderful advice. Get any kind of job you can get.
Go to any church. You got churches that will help. You got congressmen that you can go to, your council person that will also help you and direct you in a way that will help you. The churches will help you. You have neighbors if they're good that will help you.
Yeah, but I would imagine that the church is the first place people should go.
Church.
Even if you're not of that denomination, most religious institutions will help.
Yes, they will supply you with food, they'll supply you with clothes, they'll find a place where you can sleep for a couple of days. Some will even help you with housing, to try to get you into some type of housing, into some type of SRO. But they will work with you as far as the shelter is concerned, where you will feel safe and you won't have to worry about being abused or beaten or picked on in any way. Please go to churches. They have a lot of churches that will help you if you're homeless.
Anyway, and you don't have to be particularly religious to avail yourself of help from a church. It must be. Do you think that homelessness is going to increase over time?
Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. Yes it is. You already see it when I see it when I'm coming home, when I'm coming to work. People sleeping in train stations. People I haven't seen, all of a sudden I see sleeping in train stations, in boxes. You got families. You got a mom with a child, a 3-year-old who I see almost every morning. Every morning when I'm going to work, in a box, in a train station, at the end of the platform, so nobody will bother her or her child. And the reason is for the homelessness, rent is going skyrocket. It's too high. It takes 5, 8, maybe more people than that to pay one rent a month.
Yeah. And New York, where we live and are doing this show, is tremendously expensive, horrifyingly expensive. As any place, they have homelessness all over the world now, in every community. That's what's so terrible, you know.
Yes.
Anyway, you've been so wonderful telling people how they can pull themselves out of homelessness as you did. And
Don't sell no drugs though.
no, But, get any kind of job.
Yeah, anything that you think you could do. If you feel that you don't have skills, you do have skills. Don't ever lower yourself. Don't have your self-esteem so low. You are capable of doing anything if you put your mind to it, and you will work. You will work. Anything that you can do, sewing, cleaning, maintenance. You can do whatever. Just put your mind to it. Don't let the homelessness really bring you down. Your self-esteem actually. Don't let nobody drop you. Don't let nobody take you down and make you feel like you're not worth anything. You're worth more than you think. Just because you're homeless doesn't mean anything. You're still a human being. You still feel. You still can see, hear, ride bike, anything. Just you can get into anything. Any little job out there you will find if you look for it.
And maybe a church can help you find a job. Anything is possible. So anyway, how much time do we have? Anyway, 1 minute left. You've given great advice, and this is the voice of experience. And Raven is a great person. I've known her for a long time. She,
Sexy self. With her sexy self.
yes, she calls me sexy. Raven can't see very well. No, I'm kidding. But Ms. Raven Benitez, who is an advocate for the homeless, who is a human rights activist and an animal rights activist. Anyway, and please do avail yourself of any help you can get if you are homeless. A church, a city council member, whatever. Someone somewhere will help you. Keep looking. Anyway, I'm Diana Montford. This has been the Diana Montford Show. Thank you so much for watching. I love you a lot. And if you are homeless, hang in there. And if you're not homeless, try not to become homeless. Anyway, I love you a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.